But it's so important that we understand that what we say is highly important, especially as believers. But not only what we say, how we say it, it's a matter of death and life. Now you've heard the passage from Proverbs that death and life are in the power of the tongue. You've heard that before. You've quoted that before, probably, or whatnot. But a lot of times, people will switch it. People will say life and death are in the power of the tongue. When it's death and life are in the power of the tongue, I'd rather go from death to life. But see how smooth that's. See how what you say is so important, and the words that we use is so important. And English being such a young language, it's easy to get caught up in words, right? So I'll give you an example. So why do we get up and we say good morning? Isn't mourning a sad thing? Isn't it sad to mourn? So why would we say good morning? Words, right? Young language, words, that stuff is so important. You buy a house, why do we call it a mortgage? A mortgage, isn't that more for death? You know, what I'm saying is that words have power. Words are important, and a lot of times we don't think about our words. We just let them go. That's a problem. Let's go. I'm gonna show you something that's probably going to make you think a little bit. So if you go to Proverbs 18:21, this is our verse, but I want to show you this verse in a different way that you may not have seen before. Proverbs 18:21. I'm going to my Bible app and look at it. Go to it. Proverbs 18:21. Where are you? And it says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. What kind of fruit are you eating? I'll read it again. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. What kind of fruit are you eating? Hmm? What your tongue is bringing forth, what your tongue is saying, what your tongue is doing. You got two arms, you got 10 fingers and 10 toes, but you got one tongue. That tongue is something serious. It is something serious. And I hope that this verse is conveying that for you because it's powerful, right? Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Death is serious, like death is death, life is life, and it's all in the power of your tongue. But we just slang our tongues like it's nothing. We just say words like it's nothing. We talk about people like it's nothing. We bully people like it's nothing. We sing lyrics to the most foul and broken and ugly songs like it's nothing. We just sing it along. We just karaokeing. Is that even a word? Karaoke? We just we just karaokeing, and we just say all of these horrible words with the tongue. And that's how the enemy wants us to behave, because the enemy wants us just to be saying stuff without thinking, saying stuff without even recognizing stuff. Why? Because the enemy knows this verse. The enemy knows this verse. And I think it's time that the people of God understand this verse. Because this verse, again, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Now, let me show you something even deeper. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Now, pay attention to in the power of the tongue. This is why it's so important, man, that we dive deeper even outside of the English. In the power is a Hebrew word. It's yad or yad, Y-A-D is the way that it would show up. In the power of the tongue. Now, what that word translates to, a lot of people don't know it, but what that word translates to is what? In the hand or the hand. Wait a minute, preacher guy. That don't make any sense. Why? What do you mean? In the hand. Yes, in the hand. So let's look at that verse again. Let's look at that verse again with it translated. and it'll go something like this: Death and life are in the hand of the tongue, and they that eat of it, or they that love it, shall eat the fruit thereof. Death and life are in the hand of the tongue. Your tongue, this is the way you should look at it. Your tongue has hands. Now you say, wait, preacher, you're losing me, baby. You're losing me. No, I don't lose it. It's simple. What can you do with your hands? Let's name some things that you can do with your hands. I can point. I can point with my hand, just like you can do with your tongue. That was the guy. He did it. You're in a police station, and you looking through the glass like they do in the movies all the time, the little two-way glass. He's the one that did it. That's that's your tongue saying that, but it's like your hand is pointing to that guy because your tongue has hand. What else can you do with your hand? You can grab hold of something. You can grab hold of a lot of things with your tongue. That's mine. Oh, I'm preaching, man. I'm preaching, man. I'm grabbing hold of something because I'm saying that's mine. That belongs to me. That's my wife. That's my husband. That's my toy. My car. I'm grabbing on to something with my hands, with my tongue. I can hit with my hands. How many people have you said the most harshest of words to with your tongue? I hate you. I can't stand you. I wish I never met you. I wish you go off and jump off a cliff or something like that. These are the things that we say with our tongue, but our tongue is like it has hands and it's hitting people. If you talk to somebody who's been in an abusive relationship, what they'll tell you is the physical abuse was absolutely horrible, but what was just as bad was the verbal abuse. My tongue, hands. Oh my goodness, man. If we know that, if we know that your tongue has hands, or it's like it has hands, then maybe we'll be a little bit more responsible with it because there's a lot you can do with that. There's a lot you can do with that. Imagine with applauding, right? With your hands. With your hands, you applaud. You can do the same thing with your tongue. I want to praise my wife for the things that she does and who she is. That's my son right there. Scored a touchdown. That's my son that scored a touchdown. I love him. He's an amazing athlete, whatever the case may be. That's my daughter doing that twirly ballet thingy, whatever. I celebrate you. You are wonderful. You are great. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are celebrating with your tongue. And it's like you're doing it and applauding with your hands. Death and life are in the hand of the tongue. And we abuse it so much. I don't want to be here. I don't like you. Then you I was looking at a study that said that I think it was 85% of people say something negative about themselves every single day. Every single day saying something negative about themselves. Talking about what you can't do, talking about what you'll never accomplish, talking about how you had the miscarriage and you'll never have another baby. All of this stuff that you are saying and you are pouring into your life with your tongue. You're saying this. Death you've caused because of your tongue. Death you've brought about with your tongue. Every single day. Mm. And we curse people out. I was just looking at a video of this guy. Was Kirk Franklin. A lot of people call him Twerk Franklin because every time you see him, he bouncing and shaking his little bottom. Twerk Franklin. That's horrible, man. But old Kirk Franklin was on I guess like this video cast podcast, and he was talking about whatever with some rappers and some entertainers, some comedians, whatever. He's just cursing away like it's nothing. Light work, just cursing away. And it's come to my attention that a lot of believers or so-called believers, so-called Christians, will just curse like it's nothing. Just read aloud, curse word like it's nothing, and say and say, oh, it's nothing. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to this verse right here for you too. I want you to see this verse as well because let's go to Matthew 12:33. I think I want to do that. I want to do that one, right? Yeah. Well, first we'll go to Matthew, but 2 Timothy 2:16 says, "But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness." Now I don't have enough time tonight, so we can go dive deeper into that one. But if you can look at the Greek wording in that particular verse too. That's great too. 2 Timothy 2:16, but shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness. That's what they do. You had cursing people out and all this, but we'll leave it. Praise the Lord. Matthew 12:33. Let's go there. Let's go there. Matthew 12:33. Let me pull that up too. Y'all still with me? All right now. All right. 12:33. We're gonna read through this. This is what I want you to understand about what you say, your words. Matthew 12:33. Either make the tree good and his fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt and his fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by his fruit. 34. O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? Question mark. For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasures bring forth evil things. Verse 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. Every word. Last verse 37. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. But that put a lot of weight on what you say. Bro, that put a lot of weight on what you say. Because every word that you speak, every word that you've ever spoken, you'll be held responsible for. Every word. Whether that's coming from, a lyric of a 50 Cent song, or a movie quote from your favorite movie, or something you heard on the Disney Channel, every word that you have uttered, you'll give an account for. And that last verse says, for by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. And a lot of people will say, well, cursing that's not the same thing in the Bible. When it's talking about cursing, it's talking about cursing and casting spell. That's a different type of cursing. Well, we just read in 2 Timothy about profane. What do you think the word profanity comes from? But we talked about that. But I want people to realize that these words are curses. If I was to come to you and I say F you, that's a curse. Forget you. It's a banishment. It's saying I banish. Forget you. Forget that you ever existed. F you. That's a curse. Man, if I tell you to kiss my parts, what that's saying is you've put that word in a context that says that you're not worthy to kiss my lips. What you can do is, because you're beneath me, because you are nothing, because you are less than, you can kiss the part of me that the waist comes from. You can kiss that part of me. So wait a minute. That's not what they're talking. They're talking about the animal when they say kiss the. You're not worthy to kiss my lips. Kiss that animal. You bestiality loving. Kiss that. People don't realize that they are sending forth spells and curses when they use you. It's not just using the word; it's how you use the word. What do you couple the word with? Oh my goodness, man. So if you're just throwing words together and they don't make sense in a sentence, if you're just throwing words together, if I said red globe cup Thursday, red cup Thursday, I forgot what I even said. What that turns into is babbling. Second Timothy 2:16. Again, I'll read it to you. But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase until more ungodliness. In other words, you don't know what you're saying. It's babble, it's confusing, and all it will do is increase in ungodliness, increase in chaos for you. Death and life are in the hand of your tongue. And you're pointing out curses. You're telling people to go curse this thing. You're telling people that they are cursed. You're holding on to generational traumas and dramas and all that stuff with your tongue. When the fact of the matter is that you ought to be encouraging with your tongue. When is the last time you lifted somebody with the words that you speak? When is the last time that you have encouraged somebody into their purpose with the words that you say? When is the last time that you've helped somebody with the words that you say? When is the last time you quoted lyrics and those lyrics are from a joyous song? What is falling from your lips? Man, God, God is so good, and I'm so thankful. I want this to be a challenge for you tonight, or whenever you see this particular live stream. I want it to be a challenge for you to say, what am I saying? But not only that, am I saying too much? I think that we ought to be better and more listeners than we are talkers. But nowadays, everybody wants to say something. Everybody's got something to say. Everybody's got a podcast. Everybody's talking about marriage. How you talking about marriage and you ain't and can't? Don't talk to me about marriage and you ain't and can't. Just listen. You don't know how to fix cars. So why are you having a conversation about fixing cars? Just listen. You don't know about science. So why are you talking about nuclear ions and protons? Why? Just listen. Listen and learn. And then when you get to the point where you know enough, then you speak. But we're so quick with our tongue that we have to be heard. We just gotta say something. We gotta tell somebody something. Like, why not listen? Why not listen? Well, because the influencers, everybody making money by talking. You'll be held accountable for every single word that you say. That's big. Listen, Truth Hill Church online, we have our group me, but we have some big announcements that are coming as far as that stuff, because we're going to be partnering. We're going to be able to put everything that we do under one umbrella. So please stay tuned for all of that stuff. If you want to give, if you want to support, certainly we can use that in any kind of way. If you want to be praying for us, that's the biggest type of support that you can give us. That's a huge one for us. If you want to give financially, I'll leave the link somewhere in the comments as well if you want to do it that way. And thanks to all of you who have been giving. That means a lot. That helps us grow. That helps us with software. That helps us with an office space or whatever, microphones, anything. It helps us to be able to give back to the community, those in need. everything, all of that stuff. So we definitely appreciate that. If you guys need anything, if you need prayer, if you need to know Jesus, maybe you just have no idea who Jesus is, or you're afraid, or whatnot, please reach out to me and we can get back with you on that. God bless you and God keep you is our prayer. Amen.